Welcome to Sterling High School. This is the Castle Connection on Thursday, February 25th. I'm joined by Mr. Scott Manlove, and we have a lot of announcements about activities around the building today. But before we get there, Mr. Manlove, how are you doing? I texted you last night, saw you on TV at Haddon Township, on your feet, long days. How's it going?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It was a tough start, as any new position is. Fortunately, once the sport's picked up, it's been great. That's just, I'm willing to stay all night. I traveled to Haddon Heights 2 days ago, traveled to Haddon Township. It's worth watching these kids and all the effort they put in. It's great.
You've got to be an expert at scheduling now since, normally you schedule 3 times a year.
Right.
You've scheduled each season probably 3 times.
I figured out the program.
Okay,
I can just figure out the concepts behind everything and the logic. No, it's been great. I mean, your guidance has been great. Matt's been great, or Mr. Sheehan's been great. I'm loving it. It's frustrating, but seeing the kids compete is what we're here for. And it's starting to happen now. I mean, we've gotten falls in, winter's almost done. We're getting ready for season 3. We're getting ready to go.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Sterling High School is excited to celebrate Black History Month, and we are proud to present from our African American Studies class a student-led program that'll air during YouTube. Today in school, we'll be watching it in Unity all at the same time, all staff and students, whether you're in person or remote. And that'll be posted so that you can watch that at home as well. And what's so tremendous about it is it's student-led. It celebrates some of the things we've done in the past, but also recognizes changes due to COVID. But again, it's all about recognizing and elevating the special Black History Month and the celebration of it.
And it's a great job. I saw a little preview. Kids did a great job. I saw the first 2 minutes, and it's going to be a good one.
So thank you, Mr. Barringer, for your overseeing of that. Thank you for the TV team that helped from Channel 19 to help record. But really, the shout out goes to those students who design and lead that whole concept. So make sure you don't miss that program, which will be posted to YouTube, and we'll send it home. I also want to take a moment. We just passed, and the nation's flying their flags at half-mast, and so is Sterling High School. But we have now had 500,000 Americans lost to COVID. And just want to take a moment to recognize that, and just a reminder that regardless of where you're at in this process of vaccines, no vaccines, whether or not you and your family are willing to go, this impact is second to none.
It is. And we realized that when this began, eventually we would all be impacted by someone close, and we can all probably name someone. So again, reflecting back is a great idea.
So with that, I also want to recognize on a more positive note, in COVID, we were able to do our ROTC annual military inspection. Now this is, again, an annual event that typically happens in the new gym, where there is an inspection of each cadet and also each of the platoons and then the whole company. And it's an awesome event. Normally, parents are invited to observe. Unfortunately, we weren't able to, but they did a great job creating a program that we could record. And they went out onto the new tennis courts, and it looked great.
Yes, they did.
So make sure you take a look at that if you have not seen it, and watch the demonstration by our ROTC students. Great job by Commander Senior Chief and our commanding officer, Miss Brianna Red, for leading a wonderful program. So please watch that. Again, that'll be posted on YouTube. Okay, a couple other activity announcements. So first, we had a wonderful meeting with the class of 2021 parents on Monday night. And regrettably, we have to inform you, if you have not heard, that the senior trip for 2021 has been canceled. That was a decision that was made by the administration along with the Board of Education and our class advisors after going back and forth for months with the travel club and Disney and Universal. At the end of the day, this decision had to be made in order to preserve people's deposits. We can get full refunds. Tough decisions, right, Mr. Mann?
It was brutal. You know, I've been involved in that for 30 years. It was tough, but what really made sense was the safety of the class. The trip has value. We understand that. People may think it was a real quick decision. We know it was not. We went back and forth and back, literally for months. It was basically the deadline that finally said it is time to make the wise decision. Looking at everything, the liability, the health factors, the inability for the travel provider to give us the assurances we required as a district made the decision easier to make, not comfortable, but easier to make. And again, it's unfortunate. We will move on. The trip will be back next year. Does not help this year's class, but again, we did it for safety reasons.
So if you have any additional questions on that, please reach out to myself or Mr. Manlove. We're happy to answer questions on the senior trip. With that said, though, in a positive note, we're working real hard with the class to create events for this year and preserve an awesome senior experience. And with that is prom.
Correct.
So we found an alternate option for prom, which really is a home run. Thank you to the class advisors, Mr. Marley's, Mrs. Packer, Mrs. Phillips. So we're going to go to Masso's. We have an outdoor place and a tent. And so we're really excited about a safe space to offer a prom.
Yeah, and that the tent is amazing. It is massive. Safety issues, all the boxes are checked. Again, it's something that we've taken enough away from the class. This is something that's great. It's going to be different. It's going to be unusual. It's going to be the class of 2021. I mean, we're doing everything we can to make this a memorable evening. Mr. Marley's, Ms. Phillips, Ms. Packer have all done a phenomenal job researching, looking into possibilities for what we can do to make that night even more special.
Very good. So it's going to be an outdoor thing. It is going to occur. We are going to have promenade. However, there will not be any parents or guests allowed. It will be a virtually live shown promenade, which we do normally anyway, but that's just going to be the option to view it. So other stipulations on prom. Right now, we have phases that we can plan in based on what's going on, but one thing that's most likely going to stick is prom right now is for seniors. The goal is for seniors and the seniors guests that are Sterling students. So no outside guests are going to be allowed at this time, and that's because we need to protect the bubble. We need to protect our cohort of students, and we can't control what's happening outside of here, but the outside guests could have an impact on what happens in here, which includes school. And that's one of the major reasons, and I know that's very, very tough, but we want our Sterling seniors to have an experience, and we encourage you to do that by inviting a guest, go with a friend, come. Every year we have more and more kids.
We have more and more students are choosing to come
by themselves.
By themselves,
yeah.
And they have a great time. You set up a table with your friends, you have a great evening, and I would encourage as many people come out. If you weren't certain, you haven't had a lot of opportunities to be together as a class, and this is going to be one. It's going to be a great evening.
Absolutely. Great. So prom is on, and we're excited about it. It is on Saturday, May 1st, so there is a date change, but we're excited to offer that. Furthermore, we are working with Believe in You and Student Council to again, make sure we're preserving some activities, and one that's coming up this week is the Homecoming Corps. So the Homecoming Corps recipients of the Corps are going to be announced tomorrow on Friday, the 26th, and then we are going to show them and record them live next week, correct?
Correct.
During basketball.
Correct.
So you'll be able to air and see them on the basketball, and then students will vote for the Homecoming Corps. We're excited about that.
Correct.
The other thing,
March 4th, I believe it is. March 4th, Thursday evening.
Thursday evening, big night, and so the Homecoming Corps, look forward to seeing them on March 4th if you watch that program for the boys basketball game that night.
Correct.
We are also offering Mr. Sterling, so want to make sure if you're a senior involved in Mr. Sterling, we want to encourage you to do that and connect with Mrs. Johnson regarding that.
And let's see if we can get more and more bodies. Fewer kids have signed up. I think just they're not certain we're having it. We're having it, and guys, that's another great opportunity. In COVID, again, a lot has been removed. Let's keep what we can, and let's make this great. We know we have top-rate facilities here. Channel 19 does a phenomenal job through athletics, through everything else. You'll feel like you're there. It's going to feel like it's exactly what has happened in the past. So I encourage all the young men to get involved in that.
Speaking of young men getting involved, the Performing Arts is planning a spring performance. It's not going to be the traditional spring musical, but there will be a performing arts production, which will occur, and we are looking for that to be outdoors. Mrs. Galazniak is taking the lead for us and working with Mr. Younger, but they're seeking more guys to be involved. They would love to see that, but it's going to be an awesome program. That's going to be pushed way back into the spring, something that we potentially could do outside so that we can have more people observe that event.
Correct. Never done before. maybe never again. So be a part of history.
And that's the goal of both our students and our staff here is not to lean on what was done before and what we can't do, but what can we do? How can we be creative? And so far, they've answered the call.
It's been great. It's been great. Yeah,
It's been
great.
awesome. Yeah. All right, so with athletics, there's some changes. Yesterday was something very unique. What happened yesterday outside?
Yesterday, for the first time, we had a winter track meet. We hosted a winter track meet. We are used to traveling to winter track meets and having little like polar bear runs and things like that. Although we did not keep score, we did not crown a winner. Our boys and girls track, it was cool. I went out, I was an ex-track coach. It was cool to be out there, snow around the track, maintenance job, perfect on clearing the track. Awesome. Gateway came in, it was great. Kids realized you can compete. Again, with everything going on, we are trying to move forward under normalcy. You're gonna realize this is getting everyone in shape. And it was great. I went out 3 times just because it's just amazing to see what's going on. And I commend all the kids. It's been cold, it's been tough. We put limitations, you can't practice in the building, so you all have been out there every day. Kudos, coaching staff to the kids. God bless you. Keep moving forward.
Awesome. And then we're approaching winter season 3. So what does that look like?
Yeah, winter season 3 is going to be interesting. Starting Monday, we open up wrestling, and we also will be opening up girls volleyball. The girls have been pushed from the fall, so they've been waiting a long time for this. Girls have been pushed from the fall. Wrestling, a lot of question marks with wrestling, but we're moving forward. We've been successful with every other program. Our normal winter sports are closing out. The basketball teams, it's been a great season to watch. Again, they're not done yet, so we we would love to have your support. Again, it's all remote, but we'd love to have your support, give words of encouragement to the kids because they've got a lot of big games coming up in the next week. But we're gonna roll into wrestling. We're gonna hopefully have success there. I am gonna ask if I can take a quick moment to have the spring sports. I know there's a lot of them coming up. We do have the registration online. It is open if you want to get the jump on that, so your coaches can start to plan, start to prepare. Again, nothing has changed with your signups, your registration. Right there, our school, everything will be great. I'm hoping we get. I know we're getting through the winter. Let's get through season 3 and get ready for season 4.
And there's just one other thing, just to clarify, for the winter and spring sport athlete, or even if you're a volleyball person. And the NJSI made a unique announcement for those overlap periods.
Huge.
It's huge.
For the first time ever, they refer to them as contact sports. Yep. For the first time ever, you can compete in 2 sports at one time. Some people are going to have to make a choice. A young lady may have to choose between volleyball and softball. A young man may have to choose between wrestling and baseball. The choice doesn't have to be made now. You can participate in both. Literally, it sounds strange, you can leave one volleyball competition, roll right into a softball scrimmage, same day. So, I mean, we can take advantage of this. We tried to keep everything we could. NJSA has had some concerns, but they have tried to iron it out. It's been a slow process, but so far, it's worked. So we're going to put faith with them.
Great. So the point of bringing that up is just don't be discouraged by this overlap and pressured by it. I think that if you're a student athlete that is considering that, you need to make sure you are advanced communicating to both coaches on what your intentions are. But the win is that you don't have to choose.
Correct.
And we can make it happen. So
get the best of everything.
Okay, Mr. Manlove, I believe we hit it all.
I think we did.
Thank you for joining me on short notice too,
No
but
problem.
I appreciate it. So we are Sterling High School, we're Sterling Strong, and go Knights.